Good morning. Today we're going to do a little walk around the garden and we're going to check out everything that is currently growing. We're not going to go into too much depth today, but we're just going to give you an overview as to how the garden looks now that we're coming into the end of May. Today's a beautiful but rainy day, so it won't be a very long video, but you'll get a good sense as to what's happening in the garden. We'll start in this area here where I have a concrete pad. This is where I put some of my plants on the table and I do some of my propagation. We also have some beautiful peonies. This is my favorite time of year. Peonies are my favorite flower, and so I'm always thrilled to have those blooming. We still have some more peonies that have yet to open, so the show is not over yet. Now, I have planted my 2 columnar apple trees. These are a beautiful tree to grow, especially if you are limited in space. They grow vertically and they keep compact and they put on beautiful, tasty apples. Now we do have quite a blend here. We've got some lavender, the peonies, and then to the right hand side I've got a loquat. That's that tree there. We also have some sage. And we've got a bunch of citrus trees that I've grown from seed. This is a decopon, also known as sumo orange. Inside the greenhouse, we have a bunch of different citrus varieties growing, plus a sugar mango I've grown from seed. Here's a look inside the greenhouse. We're not going to go all the way in, but we do have a whole bunch of citrus that are planted in the ground. In the center, I have a bunch of indeterminate tomatoes that are going to be growing upstream. And on the right-hand side is where I'll be planting out some more cucumbers, Armenian cucumbers, as well as different kinds of melons. Beside the house, this is a real heat sink, as it's up against a white wall and it gets full sun exposure. So I have a persimmon in a pot, plus we've got some fig varieties growing in pots, 2 different varieties of olives, and then we've got our Chilean guavas, some more peonies, and some other little plants that I've grown from seed in pots down below. In the garden this year, we're trying to keep it more as a perennial bed. I'm wanting to get away from too much work, and so I'm growing quite a few fruit trees and berries. In the bed straight ahead, I have 2 citrus trees I've planted in the ground. These are both decopon or sumo orange seedlings, and they've done quite well. They're putting on lots of new growth, and we're just going to trial it out and see how they do through the coming months and into winter. We also have a bed down here. This I have a mulberry tree, and we've got some tamarillos. I've got champagne currants, as well as the sour cherry and some raspberries. In between these beds, I am growing my very first grapevines. I don't know what variety they are, but I've got one on either side, and I'll be training them into the espalier method. We do have quite a few pots. These are strawberry guavas. We also have some lychees, starfruit, Suriname cherries, mangoes, and other things growing along the side of the yard. Now, heading back, we have our little bed here. This is kind of a blend. We have tomatoes growing on a trellis. We do have some feijoas. There's 2 varieties. There's also some more citrus growing. We've got collard greens, a beautiful ambrosia apple tree that has some beautiful apples coming in. And then up against the fence is where we have our apple and pear varieties. Below them we have growing beautiful thornless bush-style raspberries, which taste delicious. I am training our Moonglow pear to bend over this walkway so it's easier to pick, and I'm trying to control its vigor and its size. So looking from the opposite way, you can actually see beautiful blushed pears coming in. This is the most prolific harvest we're going to have this year. We're very much looking forward to that. Also have Clapp's Favorite. This will be our first year getting pears. This section here, we actually have our little berry corner. These are Haskap berries. They're currently in season. It's kind of hard to see because they're all clustered underneath the actual branches. So you rarely see them when you're just walking by. There's also different varieties of high bush blueberries. And we also have some more sour cherries in here. This big tree is our Shiro plum. It definitely needs a pollinator. We do have some plums on the tree, but they're pretty small harvests in compared to what we should be getting. Our fig trees are coming in well. We do have, this is the first year we're going to have a big harvest of purple figs, and we are beyond excited about that. We also have some tay berries, and we've got some Columbia giant blackberries in the corner, plus another purple fig, our Corolla sea berry, beautiful autumn olive. This one here, by the way, is a Minnesota mock orange, and it smells divine. This is so worth having in the garden, and it's one of my favorites. Against the garage, this is where we have an apple, Asian pear tree, and an aronia berry. The big bush here, this is actually a hydrangea, and this guy is huge. It is in the happiest place. However, my apples don't do as well with the sunlight, so I have a feeling this fall I'm going to have to dig out this hydrangea and find another home for it. This is an espalier Asian pear that I'm training, and I've grown from seed. But my favorite tree in the garden is this Kosui Asian pear. It has the most wonderful flavor and these beautiful fruits. They're highly prolific. This year we're hoping to get a massive harvest. And the tree itself actually has an upright but weepy kind of stature, which I love. In the very back here, I've been doing a lot of work to build these steps and then build these beds. We have Jerusalem artichokes on the left, and in the front bed was supposed to be some lovage. I only have one that came up, so I'm going to see if I'll build out any more lovage or I'll plant something else here. Well, there's a look at the garden. We won't go into much more depth, but it gives you a good overview and idea as to what is growing. It is one of the most satisfying ventures I've ever done. No matter what you're growing, as long as you enjoy it and you love the fruit or the vegetable, then it's all worthwhile. Well, until next time, no matter what you grow, I hope you grow what you love.